Welcome to Living Fuel TV. This is Casey Krejci. So the number one cause of death in the United States is what? Well, if you read the reports, most people would say heart disease, stroke, liver disease, complications from osteoporosis, maybe diabetes. So this is the list you'll see, but when you examine it further, you'll see that diabetes actually can lead to all of the previous ones that I mentioned and many other problems. Welcome to Living Fuel TV. I'm Casey Krejci. This is my wife, Monica. Heart disease, stroke, cancer, the top 3 killing diseases in the world, right? Not exactly. At the root of all these diseases are blood sugar disorders in just about every situation. So when you talk about prediabetes, diabetes, type 1 diabetes, type 2 diabetes, even type 3 diabetes or metabolic syndrome, we are talking about the top killer on the planet today.
So you're saying that diabetes is actually the top killer, not the others?
When you consider that blood sugar disorders, when you think about what happens to a diabetes that's at the end stage, a diabetic who's at the end stage, you have blindness, you have small vessel disorders, you have amputations, and so on. All of the things that you see in these scenarios are what's supposed to be happening when someone is, say, 120 years old, but they're rocketed forward in the life. So what was your breakfast this morning? Does it even matter? Well, actually, it does matter. I say change your breakfast, change your life. Did you know the right breakfast, if you're a student, could increase your test scores in the morning? Did you know if you go to work that you'll be more creative, that you'll be more productive if your breakfast is the right breakfast? Do you know what the right breakfast is? Well, apparently, most of America does not know. They either, because of convenience or lack of time, they will not eat breakfast and go to school or go to work or do their thing, and eventually they'll get around to eating, and then their cravings are going to guide their choices. The others will eat good things, but not enough of the good things. So what is the key to breakfast? Well, the truth is that protein, as we talk about smart meals in other segments, how do you make a smart meal? Breakfast is clearly the most important meal of the day. And if you can establish a foundation of good nutrition at breakfast, it will manifest itself throughout your choices during the day. You will feel better, look better, have more energy, and all the things that you really want out of your day. So many of you are having energy crashes and so on. It all starts with the right breakfast. So if you really want to be healthy, you have to buy a juicer and juice at least one meal a day, right? Not so fast. Let's talk about the process of juicing. Yes, juicing can be very healthy, but we need to change the way we think about juicing to drinking a very good salad, a super salad, if you will. So when you juice, most people, unfortunately, will gravitate to the things that taste the best. The carrots, the apples, the fruits, and the vegetables that taste really good, and they won't use many of the greens. If you want to make it super healthy, then lean towards the greens, the broccoli, spinach, kale, those sort of things, so that you have a dark green juice, a super salad. So how can you take this lifestyle, if in fact it works for you, and make it really healthy? Well, first of all, it starts with the fruits and vegetables. Obviously, if they come out of your garden, they are extraordinarily healthy if you've done it properly. But if you get it from the store, they were normally harvested before they were ripe, and hopefully, if they're not organic, if they are organic, you're doing great, but if they're not organic, then you have other issues with chemicals and pesticides and herbicides and that sort of thing. We did publish a list. It was done by Environmental Working Group called The Dirty Dozen in my book, The Super Health Diet, The Last Diet You'll Ever Need. It generally shows that vegetables that you eat the skin on, would include tomatoes and berries and those sort of things, peppers. Those things you can't really take the chemicals out of. It's the things with the peels, like the oranges and the bananas and those sort of things. Those are generally better for consumption. But back to juicing. If you have the right juices and you lean towards the greens and very light on the fruits and heavy on the vegetables and the dark colored and the bright colored vegetables. Then you have this glass of juice. Now, if you think about how much produce you actually went through to get this little glass of juice, you'll see that you have taken all the fiber out and you've now left yourself with a great micronutrient salad. So how do you turn that into something that's really quite good for you? That you add to it a protein fiber powder that you can trust. So if you can add this to this, now you've added back the macronutrients required in order to give you the protein, the amino acids, and the fiber you need to get that meal's worth of nutrients. So that is how you turn a juice into something more healthy. Welcome to Living Fuel TV. I'm Casey Crazy. This is my wife Monica. Today, imagine you started the day and you didn't eat anything you normally eat. In fact, you're fasting, but you're not hungry. You feel great. You could still exercise. Wouldn't it be wonderful if that were possible? Well, it is possible. Today, we're here to talk to you about the fuel fast.
Now, in your book, Casey, on page 303, the book Super Health Diet, the last diet you will ever need, it says the fuel fast involves fasting or replacing one or all of your meals. 3 meals per day with 5 to 6 hours in between is generally best, with a broad spectrum, nutrient-dense, high-protein super smoothie that is low in calories, rich in broad-spectrum antioxidants, low in sugar, and glycemic responses, and it contains healthy fats.
So essentially, if you could combine everything your body needed without the things your body doesn't need or want, you could fuel your body and provide the building blocks required to grow lean muscle mass in a very powerful and effective way. And since you're delivering it in liquid form, it's extraordinarily digestible. So it's very easy on the body. So you end up with a detox response or detoxification going on during that period of time. So we have found that it is an extraordinary technique. In fact, I believe the most extraordinary technique in health to do 4 to 7 days of the fuel fast. You will find extraordinary the way your mental clarity will increase, your weight will optimize, your muscle mass will increase, your energy levels will go up. It's really fantastic.
Because you're not dealing with the usual pesticides and junk that most people eat, and it really gives your body a chance to relax, your organs can relax, and it detoxifies on its own. That's
an excellent point, that yes, it's organic, but also there's many things people eat that the body has to detox that moment. So when you eat something, let's just say French fries, for instance, your body is trying to figure out how to protect you from what you just did to it. So it really can't focus on getting rid of things that are already stored up. So it's a really powerful technique, and it starts to change your cravings. We have found that many docs have told us that they'll put their patients on a 4-day fuel fast before they try to diagnose food intolerance. Because once they do the 4-day fuel fast and they eat a food that's an offending food, let's say dairy for instance, that food will hurt. They will eat the food and within a short time they go, oh gee, I do not feel good. Because the body develops a subclinical response to these foods that they eat every day. So if you eat them every day, it's a dulled response and you just don't feel great, but you just don't know why. And when you get away from those offending foods and bring them back, they have an immediate response, which is a powerful thing. So,
well, I was going to ask you too, how does somebody break into fasting with, like, say, Living Fuel?
Well, an awesome tool that we call the 7-day challenge. You can go to the site and talk about, read the 7-day challenge. We say you start by replacing 1 meal a day, let's say breakfast, for 3 days. So breakfast for 3 days, a whole meal super smoothie, and that is your breakfast, and then you don't eat again until lunchtime. And lunchtime, you incorporate what we call the smart meal concept, and dinner, the same thing. You could even not make much changes at all by changing the 1 meal and then eat the other 2 meals the way you typically would eat the 2 meals.
And you're talking about people too. There's a lot of people who don't eat breakfast, so you would say, go ahead and have a Living Fuel super smoothie for breakfast, even though you don't usually have anything.
Absolutely. So this will be meal 1 for 3 days. So breakfast for 3 days, and then on the 4th day, you'll have breakfast and dinner, for instance, or breakfast and lunch. So 2 meals of your day will be a super smoothie. So
and that's day 4 through 6.
Day 4 through 6. And now on day 6, you've now had for those 3 days, you've had 2 meals a day, Living Fuel, and you'll be feeling fantastic. And now this is the time where you choose whether or not on day 7 you're going to go to all 3 meals for a number of days, or you're going to stay at 2 meals and eating a smart meal as your 3rd meal.
So they wouldn't really want to go back to French fries.
No,
I mean, you're not going to want them.
You're not going to want them. So this is an extraordinarily powerful technique. It's really quite simple, and you will actually feel so good within that week that you'll understand that people wonder why they feel so good when they do this program, because that is the way you are designed to feel. This is not people normally walk around feeling worse than they should feel because of what they're putting into their system, and then they don't want to exercise because they just don't feel like it. So try this technique. We know you'll love it. God bless you, and have a great day.